So you've had so many people damaged by FTX. The whole crypto space, you could argue, got damaged by FTX. And so if price were to trade above that, psychologically, that would be a big relief to investors, and I think that would draw in a lot of new money. So right now, I look at this as a bear market rally. It's still inside of that move. Just to do one thing here that's kind of cool, we'll do a parallel trend line.
Bitcoin and crypto prices usually correlate to the stock market. Yet, some believe Bitcoin can outperform it and be a massive opportunity for 2023. In today's video, Gareth Soloway, co-founder and chief investment officer of In the Money Stocks and Verified Investing Crypto, will explain what's happening right now in Bitcoin and why we have this short-term rally before the expected drop. But in this video, Gareth will also tell you the levels that Bitcoin needs to break for big money to come in and finally pump Bitcoin properly. And he's been hitting Bitcoin price predictions for the longest time. Just a few days ago, he was calling for a crypto pump on his Twitter before more downside came, and here it is. So please pay close attention until the end because you need to know the levels he's looking at to ride the next bull market. First, let's look at the S&P 500.
Look at what we've done. So you had this drop, which was right off this trend line. And then look today, we filled a gap and we went right to that line. And this is, again, a bigger downtrend trend line on the S&P 500. So I'm in the position where I'm actually short the S&P 500. I'm not short crypto. I want to be clear on that. Anytime something falls 70% from its highs, you're not going to catch me shorting at the lows anymore. Just like you shouldn't have been buying Bitcoin at 60, 65,000 at the highs. But it's more of staying away and maybe taking profits on some of these moves in crypto because you're worried about the stock market having another big rollover to it. So that's my expectation. I think the S&P is going to be down 25% in 2023. CPI basically came in alignment with expectations. And so the market was really weird. Initially it dumped out and then it reversed on the S&P and then we've kind of been just chopping around slightly positive the entire day. And I think the takeaway is, yes, inflation came down. It was in line with expectations. But the reason why we're not seeing either a big up day or the big down day is because I don't think it changes anything. The Fed is still going to hike rates the next time they meet, probably 25 basis points. And there's still kind of a lot of question marks for the stock market right now about earnings, right? And so we know the economy is starting to slow a little bit. A lot of, analysts are saying that earnings revisions have to come down. They have to come down, which then is negative for the stock market as valuations apparently are still too high. And so, it's an interesting situation where the S&P is up today, crypto's up today. We've seen a 4-day run up on the stock market. Basically, that coincides with the run up on crypto. So you are seeing this continued kind of connection with risk assets going up together. And really, to be honest, that's my biggest fear for crypto. I think that the FTX scenario is kind of hopefully the worst is over now type scenario where we don't see anything as big as FTX coming forth. But now it's more of, okay, well, if the stock market declines, do people panic and sell their crypto anyways? And that what drives it down. So
what about the next significant drop in crypto? What's his price prediction for 2023?
Crypto will drop probably towards 9,000 before it's all said and done. But then by end of year, probably recover towards 20 again. So I think there's going to be this changeover where you go from a risk asset being crypto to where it becomes a store of safety in the second half of the year once we get that transparency, hopefully from regulation.
Now, let's have a quick look at the actual charts. What's the reasoning behind this Bitcoin rally, and what are Gareth's targets for a bull run to have a chance?
One of the things that I do in the stock trading game is always look for January effect plays. And basically what happens in January is anyone who was going to sell an asset to take a tax loss or offset gains does that in December, right? So once you get to January, it takes a lot of the selling pressure away from assets, and that includes stocks and cryptocurrencies. And so I think going into January, I was kind of expecting this little bounce here. Again, I say little because Bitcoin, again, 16,000 to 18,800, not the biggest move in history of Bitcoin. But to me right now, it still hasn't proved itself, right? So it's a great move. You could see this downsloping trend line right here. We finally broke above it. That kind of kick-started the rally in early January. We're now kind of kissing this little underbelly of this chop here. For me, the biggest thing that I'm paying attention to is this fall, right? So you had this big fall, which was the FTX collapse. That would be the only way for me to really start to get semi-bullish on Bitcoin is if we were to eclipse that high.
To pull back the same way we came, you're saying to just go right past it where we came down from.
And that's a very psychological thing, right? So you've had so many people damaged by FTX. The whole crypto space, you could argue, got damaged by FTX. And so if price were to trade above that, psychologically, that would be a big relief to investors, you know, and I think that would draw in a lot of new money. So right now, I look at this as a bear market rally. It's still inside of that move. Just to do one thing here that's kind of cool, we'll do a parallel trend line. And if we stretch this line here and then stretch it up, look at that. See this high right here, and then look at where we just kissed right there. And so this is stuck inside of what we would consider a bear flag, or in spirit of bear flag. So yeah, at least at this point, I'm in the position of thinking that it's a great move, but I would recommend for myself selling into this up move.
What do you think? If Bitcoin breaks that level, can we expect a trend reversal and return to BTC's prices before the FTX collapse? And can it hold it and use it as a support for the next jump? Or will it just be a temporary price before it keeps dropping? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Even though we don't reply to every comment, we read them. And if you want to see more daily crypto, please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks.